Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me for Wlbt Plus. My name is Kara Shirley. I'm your digital news desk host, and it is Tuesday, March the 18th. Flying through the month of March. Before we know it, we're going to be ending out this year. It's just crazy. I say that every day. I'm sure some of you are tired of it, but it's just how I feel. It feels like this time is flying by so fast. Thank you so much if you're tuning in on our website, WLBT.com, or our news app, our mobile app. Thank you so much. If you're tuning in on any of our social streams, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, anything like that, don't forget you can always join the conversation there by leaving your comments. If you have any questions, thoughts, suggestions, anything like that, you can leave it in the comment section. We do ask that you be nice, but it is a free country. You can do and say what you want. Before we jump into the news, we are going to take a look outside right now over Natchez. It is a beautiful day out there. Lots of gorgeous sunshine. I hope you're getting a chance to partake in the sunshine, get some vitamin D out there. But we see absolutely gorgeous view in Natchez looking over at the Mississippi River. And by the looks of our camera shaking there, it looks like it's probably a little windy out there as well. Admittedly, I have not been outside since I got to work this morning, so I don't know if it's windy, but in just a little bit, we are going to be taking a look at our forecast, the overnight forecast, and let's see what we're looking at tomorrow. So stick around for that. But at 2:30 today, First Alert Weather Team is going to give us a in-depth look at our forecast. I know we are expecting some rain tomorrow, but I don't believe that is going to be anything severe or even heavy rain or anything like that, widespread. But we'll look at that in just a little bit. And of course, First Alert Weather Team will be here at 2:30. Let's go ahead and jump into the news. Speaking of weather, we're going to MEMA has confirmed that there were 17 tornadoes that touched down during the severe storms that happened this past weekend here in Mississippi. 7 people did lose their lives here in Mississippi as a result of those storms. Our very own Valicia Gavin was out, or she has been out in Tylertown, and she was also at the Paradise Ranch and RV Resort earlier today. And we're going to now take a listen to what she had to say, looking at the damage that was there, and also showing you some of the damage that she witnessed. So here we go.
As you can see behind me, it is bad out here. Now, the National Weather Service did confirm that an EF3 and an EF4 tornado hit here in the area. Now, what you just saw is actually part of the cleanup effort. I'm going to show you some of the actual damage. Now, as you can see just right here, this is one of the trailers that's a part of this RV resort. We are at Paradise Ranch RV Resort, and this is one of those trailers. You can look directly inside of it without even opening the door. The door has been pushed inside. You can see all of the furniture. A tree has fallen on top of it. And if you move over just a little bit more, there's a cabin completely tilted over on the ground. A tree, actually, if you look over on the other side, there's a tree completely embedded inside of the roof. Trees around the resort have been uprooted completely on the ground, fallen over property. So again, this resort is completely unlivable at this time, and they're working hard to get things back up and running again. There are actually crews out here right now working to do that. Now, 5 trailers and RVs and mobile homes are considered to be a very dangerous place to be during a storm. So luckily no one was hurt here at the resort, but I've spoken with one of the owners of the property, Sean Vidrine, and he says that's thanks to his team that was able to get everyone relocated inside of their amenity buildings, and they had a lot of cancellations that weekend, so that helped them out to make it a lot easier to get everyone to a safe space. Now, Vidrine says there are still a lot of questions when it comes to figuring out next steps, but teams have been working hard to get things back up and running again. And a big thank you goes out to the community. Volunteers from in and out of state have come to help them begin to get back on their feet again. Now, we've been out here in Waupau County since the tornadoes just hit on Saturday. We were here Saturday, we were here Sunday, we were here Monday, and we're here again today, just looking at all of the damage. And it is a devastating scene out here. We've been out here since the beginning, and I can honestly say this is probably one of the worst scenes that I've I've seen since I've been out here, and it's just a devastating scene. It almost looks like a forest. We've run through a couple of deer, we've run into a couple of pigs out here. So a lot is going on, and they're working to get back on their feet. And the RV resort owner tells me that they will be posting updates on their Facebook page as far as when they will be reopening. But again, that answer is unknown because there are still a lot of steps that they have to take to get all of that done. But that's the very latest here in Walthall County. I'm Verlicia Gavin.
And just utter devastation there. It seeing that there really hits home for me because my family and I, we actually live in a fifth wheel camper. We live in a RV resort, obviously not that one, but we do live in a camper. And it was it's a scary thought to have to think of something like that happening whenever severe weather comes through. Something that we are very diligent on is watching the weather. Of course, having the First Alert weather app downloaded and just heeding any warnings that come through. But MEMA said that there were 17 tornadoes that touched down that were confirmed on through the 14th and the 15th here in Mississippi. The strongest one was an EF4 tornado. It started in Louisiana, then traveled through Pike, Walthall, Marion, Jefferson Davis, and Covington counties. Had a maximum wind speed of 170 miles per hour, and it was on the ground for 65.2 miles. That is outrageous to think about that. Here in Mississippi, there were 715 homes, 29 businesses, and 16 farms damaged. So the following counties have submitted here's some of the counties that have submitted damage reports to MEMA. Calhoun County, there was a couple of roads and a bridge. Homes in Carroll County, one death in Covington County. Grenada was hit pretty strong as well. 43 homes, 3 businesses, and 1 road was damaged during the storm. And 62 homes in Jefferson Davis. Lafleur County had 230 homes damaged. In Smith County, 74 homes. Walthall County had 182 homes that were damaged, along with 4 deaths in Walthall County. Also, there were 2 deaths in Jefferson Davis County. You can go to our website and see all of the statistics that we have received thus far from MEMA. And of course, we will continue to update those as we get the updates in and inform you of them. Also, you will be able to find a list of any shelters that are open for anyone who has received storm damage to their home and they have nowhere to stay. There are some storm shelters open, and you can check that out on our website, Wlbt.com. Now to some other news that happened this morning, or that came out this morning, rather, is a man has pleaded guilty to a head-on crash that ended up killing an 85-year-old. So the man's name is let me get him pulled up for you. I'm sorry. Hold on one second, guys. Here he is on your screen right here. So he pleaded guilty to the DUI crash. It happened on I-20 on August the 21st of 2023. Hattie Lorraine O'Neill was did pass away. She was killed in that crash when the Dodge Ram driven by the individual here on your screen, 38-year-old Marcall Joshua Collins, collided with the Honda Accord that was driven by O'Neill's son, Ty. So during the investigations, officers determined that Collins had been driving the wrong way on the interstate, which caused the collision. They immediately suspected he was drunk. They had a strong smell of alcohol on him. He admitted to having several vodka drinks, and officers also recovered 2 vodka bottles from his truck. So on Tuesday, which is today, he was sentenced to 25 years in the state penitentiary. But again, his name is Marcall Joshua Collins, and he will be spending 25 years behind bars. Then there is a man that was killed here in Jackson on State Street. JPD is investigating this homicide that happened over the weekend. Let's see, Earl T. James III was shot and then taken to a hospital. He was unfortunately pronounced dead at the hospital. This is an ongoing investigation, and JPD is asking if you have any information on the shooting that happened. Again, it was on North State Street on Saturday. Please contact JPD or Crime Stoppers. And a death pending case has now been upgraded to a homicide case. So this happened on March the 4th, Tuesday, March the 4th, on Stokes Robertson Road. Jackson firefighters responded to a vehicle that was fully engulfed in flames. After JFD extinguished the flames, a body was then found inside of the vehicle. Last Thursday, detectives learned that the victim had sustained multiple gunshot wounds, leading to the homicide case. And again, this is an ongoing investigation. Happened March the 4th on Stokes Robertson Road. If you have any information on this, please pass it along to Jackson Police Department. And there was a car crash and a car fire here in Jackson. It happened yesterday, and it was on Highway 49. So it was a Mazda that was traveling. Let me turn the volume down for this in case it gets really loud. So the Mazda was traveling in the northbound lane when it ended up running off the road and struck the Natchez Trace Parkway pillar. Hinds County Interim Coroner Jeremiah Howard told us that the vehicle then burst into flames. The driver was the only person that was in the car. Unfortunately, the fire did burn the body beyond recognition. It is going to be sent to the state crime lab for identification, and JPD is investigating the cause of this crash. And the helicopter crash that happened last week seems like so much longer than that ago. So much has happened since then. But a memorial has been set for the first responders who died in that helicopter crash in Madison County. And that's going to be held this week. It's the memorial for Calvin Waslowski, Jacob Kent, and Dustin Pope. Is going to be this Friday at 11 a.m. It's going to be held at Broadmoor Baptist Church in Madison. So as we've reported before, we told you the aircraft was in the air for approximately 11 miles. It flew for 11 minutes and flew for about 23 miles before it crashed around 12:36 in the upper side of the Ross Barnett Reservoir near the Natchez Trace. Again, that memorial service for them will be held at Broadmoor Baptist Church in Madison, and that is going to be this Friday at 11 o'clock. Yesterday, during Mayor Lumumba gave a press conference, and in that press conference, he was talking about Jackson Water, and he was actually slamming Jackson Water for what he says is a poor collection rate and a lack of competitive bidding. So this comes days after third-party interim Ted Hennepin said that the rates are going to need to be raised to keep the system afloat. So in February, Hennepin said Jackson Water was about to exhaust the $150 million in federal flexible funds designed to help cover operational costs. He also added that even if the utility were collecting at a 100% at the current rate, additional funds would still be needed. Under the terms of the court order governing the takeover, Hennepin must consult with the mayor before raising the rates. The mayor then must take this to the city council for consideration. We, of course, will be continuing to follow this here at WLBT, and we will update you as we get updates in here. And in Brandon, there's some site work going on for a new 95-room hotel in Brandon. The city announced yesterday on their social media page that construction for the facility is expected to begin in April as soon as the site prep wraps up. Hotel is going to be a 4-story home, 2 suites by Hilton, and it is going to be located on Stribling Lane. Excited to see that new development happening in Brandon. And if you were from the Florence area, there is a boil water notice that has been issued by the Mississippi Department of Health. Now, this is due to a line break that happened there. It's a precautionary notice. So they are issuing this boil water notice as a precautionary method. It affects about 551 customers. And of course, residents will be notified by the water system once the advisory is lifted. And back here in Jackson, some paving projects, much needed paved projects, are underway in Northwest Jackson. State Representative Justin Gibbs helped secure a $400,000 grant from the legislator to repave portions of Hanging Moss Road and Beasley Road. Stretches of the road are going to be fully stripped to eliminate potholes, sharp edges in the roads, and some uneven streets. Gibbs credits Hinds County Supervisor Robert Graham for collaborating with him and ensuring that the project is completed. So again, this is happening in Northwest Jackson. Thanks goes out to State Rep Justin Gibbs and Robert Graham for getting the money secured so that this can happen, because it is definitely needed here in the city of Jackson. Need these roads fixed, really is no better or eloquent way to put it. The roadways need to be fixed here in the capital city. But before we look at the weather and talk about some things that are happening over at the legislature, let's hear from our sponsors at JXN Water.
At JXN Water, we are in the game and locked in on our goals. Every day, our dedicated teams are hard at work, ensuring that clean, reliable water flows to every home and business in Jackson. We are not just fixing pipes. We're investing in a brighter, more resilient future for our city. JXN Water, water for all the time.
And again, thanks to JXN Water for sponsoring WLBT Plus. Well, the weather, let's look at our temperatures outside right now. From what I understand, it's a very pleasant day. Actually, maybe warm to some people, but we're sitting in the mid 70s across our area. And there is no rain in sight for today, at least. We are expecting some rain tomorrow, but there's no rain in sight for today. If we look at our next 12 hours, I hit the wrong button. Here we go. If we look at our next 12 hours, you can see we're not expecting any rain overnight. We are going to drop down into the mid 60s around the 1 o'clock hour. And if we look at the next the next 7 days of our forecast, you can see we are expecting a 40% chance of rain tomorrow, with some our temperatures reaching up to near the 80s, but quickly falling back down into the 60s on a Thursday. And we are expecting a little bit of rain this weekend. Nothing severe, though. Your best chance to get the most accurate forecast, much better and much more eloquently than I can say it, is going to be here to come here at 2:30 today to listen to our First Alert weather team. They're going to be able to give you the timing on the rain that is expected to move through tomorrow, if it is expected to be severe, which we're not thinking it is, and all of the details. So 2:30 today, right here at WLBT Plus, First Alert Weather Team will be here to give you the details on your forecast. Now we turn to the state capitol, where legislative leaders are moving closer to an agreement on how they would like to cut taxes. Both the House and the Senate are changing up their original tax reform plans. And they are now both include a path to a full elimination of the state income tax. So the State Finance Committee is offering up a new version of a Senate tax plan. The committee approved inserting language into House Bill 1 late Monday night, and it offers a gradual path to elimination of the income tax, but it's not an automatic elimination. The Senate plans to the plans include creating a fifth tier for new state employees, meaning they wouldn't get the same benefits as current or even retired employees.
I had repeated calls, and I have an email from Ray Higgins, who's head of PERS, saying, watching this go on, and said, listen, please don't leave. Please don't let whatever other issues are involved, income tax or sports betting or something, get involved in not curing PERS.
Now, both chambers agree on an immediate grocery tax reduction from 7% to 5%. While that will be helpful, it's not a lot, but we are grateful for it. They're also changing the way they increased tax on gas, suggesting a 3-year phased-in increase of a few cents. They also proposed 5 cents each year for 3 years, rather than the 3 cents that the Senate suggested. So the Senate suggested 3 cents every year for the next 3 years, but the House is suggesting 5 cents for the next 3 years, every year for the next 3 years. Today is the deadline for each chamber to pass appropriation and revenue bills that originated in the opposite chamber. Courtney Ann Jackson has been there all day today, and she will bring you the latest on what is happening with those tax cuts and the House Bill 1 tonight on our newscast. So make sure you are tuning in tonight to hear from her on that. And there is a new eatery that is going to be coming to Jackson. Jackson City Council approved the restaurant, the Corner Pocket Restaurant, to be opened at Pear Orchard Village on East County Line Road. So let me show you exactly where that is, East County Line Road, and where actually the restaurant is going to be located. So we have oh my goodness, my brain just completely blanked out on me. We have the mall here. We have East County Line Road. We have Highway 55. This is taking the Ridgeland exit off of I-55. And you can see it's right here where the restaurant is going to be located. So the council unanimously voted to use for the use permit, rather, which will require annual renewal, and it won't transfer when the ownership and if the ownership changes. Ward 1 Councilman Ashby Foote supported the initiative, highlighting the need for more businesses in the area. And Pear Orchard Village, unfortunately, has been struggling since its construction in the 1980s. It faces challenges with tenants, with only 3 reported in 1987 before foreclosures. Has been owned by a Miami-based Lafitte Investments LLC since 2010. We don't know the exact opening date of the restaurant as of not right now, but when we get that information in, we will certainly pass it along to you. Well, guys, that's going to be the end of WLBT Plus today. I hope you all have a wonderful day. Stay tuned in here. Come back at 2:30 for our First Alert weather team to give you that full in-depth look at the forecast. And I will be back tomorrow at 1 o'clock. I hope you all have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.